You're watching Sky News and our continuing coverage of a deadly attack at a Christmas market in Germany. Here's what we know so far. 2 people have been killed, including a small child, and 68 injured after a car was driven at speed into crowds in the city of Magdeburg. 15 of those injured are in a serious condition. Police have arrested the suspected driver, a doctor from Saudi Arabia. However, he was not previously on the security forces' radar as a known Islamist. That's according to the DPA news agency. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will visit the site tomorrow and says his thoughts are with the victims and their families. We stand beside them and beside the people of Magdeburg. The attack took place at around 7 p.m. local time tonight in Magdeburg, which is in the east of Germany, about 2 hours' drive from Berlin. A car drove into shoppers at the city's Christmas market. This is the route the driver took, reportedly driving 400 metres through the crowd. The suspect was arrested nearby. This is the moment police arrested the alleged driver nearby the location of the attack. The suspect can be seen exiting the car with hands raised before more police arrive at the scene. Well, Sky correspondent Saba Chowdhury is monitoring developments from the newsroom for us. And Saba, what more can you tell us about developments this evening?
Well, the footage that we just saw moments ago showed a man being arrested, detained by German police. This was after a car drove at speed straight through a busy Christmas market in Magdeburg in the east of Germany. Now, this very serious incident took place after 7 p.m, where mainly local people were out and about at the Christmas market the weekend before Christmas. This is being described as a mass casualty event, and we know so far that 2 people have been killed, including a toddler, and that up to 68 individuals have been injured. Now, the German state premier, Dr. Rainer Haseloff, has confirmed that a man has been arrested. His identity is yet to be confirmed, but it is believed that he is a doctor from Saudi Arabia who's been in Germany since 2006. Dr. Haseloff said in a press conference not too long ago. He said that this is a man who used a rented car with a registration plate from Munich, adding that he did act alone. Now, in terms of those injured, the state premier said that further deaths at this stage cannot be ruled out due to the severity of the injuries that we are seeing. For example, a local government website saying that 15 people have been seriously injured, 37 moderately so and 16 slightly, but these numbers are constantly getting updated. This has been described as a deliberate attack by a local spokesperson, and a crime scene. Emergency services will remain at the market overnight. The priority, Gillian, is to make sure that those that need help get it, that families are all informed, and to ensure that this space is as safe as possible.
OK, Saba, thank you very much for the moment. We're joined now by Liam Klaus, who was at the market at the time of the attack. Liam, thank you very much for speaking to us. Tell us what happened.
Well, initially, I just heard this noise, so it's sort of like a metallic scrape. So this is coming from behind me. As I turn around, there's a child's carousel turning. I thought initially that this was just braking or had just malfunctioned. And then all of a sudden a car comes from the right of us, straight across us, driving at least 30, maybe 40 miles an hour, drives through people. People are going over the car, of course. We didn't particularly see any major injuries, but we, of course, knew that it was a serious incident as it happened.
How close did the car come to you?
Around I'd say about 15 yards within. If we'd have been 15 yards further forward, we would have been direct in front of the car.
So you saw the car strike people then?
Yes. As it's driven through, it's coming around where the entrance was to the Christmas market, and as we know, the driver hasn't applied any brakes or anything. It's just driven through people and tried to hurt or kill.
As it was happening, what were you thinking? What did you think was happening?
Like I said, from this sort of metallic noise as it happened, I initially thought was this carousel, but then all of a sudden you hear screaming and see a car. My initial thought is, let's go in the opposite direction. So I grabbed hold of my girlfriend's hand and said, we're going the other direction. Luckily, there was a police presence there. There was a few riot vans, although there wasn't a riot as of yet. There was police stationed there. I sort of instructed and said, look, you just go that way. We're going in the other direction. Of course, there's what else? What else can we do?
And as it happened, how did people respond? Can you describe what the scene was like? You said that there was screaming.
Yeah, I'd say that's the initial reaction of people. I imagine some people went forward and tried to sort of bring people away that were lightly injured. There was a few that just had a few scrapes and bruises that maybe had moved out of the way of the car as it happened. And as we passed the police van, there was people being tended to with very minor bumps, and somebody said that their knee was hurt. But in terms of major injuries, we didn't see anything. But as we now know, there has been fatalities.
And was there a police presence immediately?
Almost immediately, yeah. Within sort of 5 to 10 seconds, and there was also private security, which I did notice. But of course, what can be done against a car being driven through?
And up until the point of that attack, it was just a normal Christmas market with people walking in the aisle in the centre with the huts on either side.
Yeah, lots of huts either side, sort of people drinking mulled wine and things, and eating what they call bratwurst, hot dogs and things like that, and all of a sudden it's turned upside down.
How are you feeling now? Your voice still sounds a little shaky.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it'll take a day or two to process what's actually happened. Seeing it in the news is very different to seeing that in person.
Indeed. And were you able to get medically checked to make sure that both yourself and your partner are okay?
Luckily, like I say, we were around sort of 15 to 20 yards away from the car, and we went in the other direction. We sustained no injuries, but we saw obviously people that had been injured, people lying still on the floor, and a few people walking away from it with minor limps and small minor injuries like that. But of course, it goes on for much longer than where we were. We were right by the exit, right by the entrance. Sorry, where the perpetrator had driven the car in.
Terrible experience for you. Are you a tourist there visiting?
Yes. I came over for Christmas, like I say, to see my partner and be with her family.
So you'll remain there for the Christmas season?
Yes, into the new year before I say I come back home.